talk about this issue and the crisis that's in Georgia, nuance doesn't work for Democrats. And here Obama's been criticized this week for the idea that there should be restraint on both sides when the administration, you hear this morning, is out with very tough language against Russia.
Well, there is a ceasefire, and Russia is currently not in compliance with that ceasefire, although they have just this morning announced that their troops will begin to withdraw and withdraw fully and completely back to the lines prior to this conflict tomorrow. I hope this time he'll keep his word.
How much confidence do you have, and is there any explanation for the delay?
I don't have an explanation. However, yet again, the Russian president has given his word, and this time I hope he'll honor it.
I think we have to see what they do from this point forward. My hope is that we will see actions in the weeks and months to come that provide us some reassurance. My own view is that the Russians will probably stall and perhaps take more time than anybody would like.
If they refuse to withdraw from Georgia, is there anything the United States can do about it?
I think that there are already consequences of the actions that Russia has taken for Russia.
Let's talk about consequences.
Do there have to be consequences for the action that Russia has already taken in the last 10 days?
I would note that there have already been significant consequences for Russia.
What are the consequences that you're thinking about?
I think that Russia is already facing some serious consequences from the actions that they've taken. Virtually the entire world now is looking at Russia through a different set of lenses. The whole world is looking at Russia through a different set of lenses.
This forward-leaning modern Russia, well, you know, that reputation's frankly in tatters. That in itself is a significant consequence. Russia has already paid a price. But I want to be very clear, Russia has already paid a price. Georgia will rebuild. Russia's reputation may not. The damage to Russia's reputation, and the damage to people's views of Russia's suitability for some of these institutions, that damage can't be undone. Georgia can be rebuilt. Russia's reputation it's going to take a while, if ever.
So there are already consequences. I think they may not appreciate the magnitude of those consequences yet.
You say Russia may not appreciate the magnitude, but you know, you've canceled some joint military exercises. Beyond that, what kind of pain have they felt?
Well, the reality is they've acted very quickly, and we now have time to consider carefully with our allies what actions we want to take.
What leverage does the United States have over Russia right now?
Russia will pay a price. We will look seriously with our allies and bilaterally at the consequences of this Russian action for Russian integration into these institutions.
Expelling them from the G8 and other measures is on the table.
We will take our time and assess where Russia stands in regards to these various diplomatic and political and economic institutions. But again, I don't think we want to get ahead of ourselves.
Secretary Rice?
We'll get soon enough to the question of the longer-term relationship with Russia.
We've had people like the Republican candidate for President John McCain said some time ago that we ought to just kick them out of G8. Would that, in fact, be a good idea to ask them to leave G8?
Well, by its behavior, Russia is isolating itself. The world has been appalled, frankly, at Russian troops in Georgian cities, and Russia is isolating itself. Now, as to what we will do about Russian participation in certain institutions and American support for that, you know, we'll take a look.
Should Russia be removed from the major industrialized states, the so-called G8?
Well, there are a lot of possible actions that the West could take.
Does that mean that Russia will not, for example, be allowed into the World Trade Organization?
Well, I think it's too soon to be talking about specifics, but there's clearly a menu available. There's a broad menu of possibilities, and I don't think there's much benefit in getting into the specifics.
Well, why is it too soon to be talking about specifics, and what exactly is on the table? When you say there's a menu available, Senator McCain has talked about kicking Russia out of the G8 organization. Others have said perhaps more extensive financial sanctions. Are all of those possibilities on the table?
I think all of those are possibilities.
We're going to take our time and assess what further consequences there should be.
There's no need to rush into anything. We don't want to do it unilaterally. I think we need to work with our allies and other countries around the world.
We're not going to do anything hasty. I think Russia is already paying a significant price. I just want to reiterate, they are receiving the criticism of the world for what they're doing. The real cost here right now to Russia is the reputation.
Are we back to the bad old days of the Cold War?
No, I don't think so. The truth is that we're not staring down the barrel of nuclear confrontation with the Russians.
Is it fair to conclude now that Russia is more adversary than ally?
Well, I think its actions certainly have been adversarial. I don't think there's much benefit in sort of pigeonholing countries in terms of those kinds of relationships. We still have a lot of problems and challenges around the world, North Korea, Iran, and others that we probably are going to need to work together on.
Nuance may be a better approach than this get tough approach. Talk to people who really know the issue. Georgia did things, and Ossetia is not a clear-cut case. I mean, there is a lot of depth here.